Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beloved sisters, and inshallah we'll start our new course about the makharij, the articulation points of the letters. Today, inshallah, we will talk about an introduction, and also we will take one of those makharij. We should know at the beginning that we have 5 major areas, including all the articulation points of the letters. These are the 5 major areas. Let's see. They are the nose, and it includes just one articulation point, the lips, 2 articulation points included, the tongue, 10 articulation points included, Aljawf, or what we call the empty mouth and the throat space, it is having 1 articulation point, and the throat, which is including 3 articulation points. We will take each area by itself and we will study the articulation points included in each area. First, we will start with the makhraj al-jawf, which is on the right side at the top here. It is the empty mouth, the empty place in between the mouth and the throat. This is called al-jawf. And from this major area, we have 1 articulation point. Let's see. Okay, here we see that from this area, the major area of the throat, al-jawf, we are producing the 3 mad letters, which is the alif, the ya, and the waw. So when we need to lengthen a letter, to pronounce a mad letter, we use this area, which is the empty space in between the mouth and the throat, in order to produce the sound of the mad letters. Okay, so the mad letters are produced from the same place, which is al-jawf, the major area, al-jawf. Okay, so we can see here it is already on the drawing here, we can see it with the green area. This is the what we call al-jawf, the major area which is called al-jawf. It includes the articulation points of the mad letters, and we call this an approximate articulation point because we can't say which part exactly we are producing the mad letters from in this area. We are not having the point exactly from where exactly the articulation point of those mad letters. So we call this an approximate articulation point. It is not specific. You can't put your hand on exactly from where you produce the alif or you produce the waw mad letter or the ya. Okay. We should learn also how to know the articulation points of the letters generally. We usually add an alif before the letter, hamzatul wasl, and then we add the letter in case of sukun. As we know, we're not able to start with sukun. So we add hamzatul wasl to the letter. Before the letter, we want to know the articulation point of it. So we add hamzatul wasl, and then we add a vowel to this hamza, fatha, dhamma, kasra. And we see when the sound will end. So this is going to be the articulation point of this letter. For example, let's try the ba. Now I will add hamzatul wasl before the ba. It will be, and I will add the fatha vowel. So it will be ab, ab. So now when the sound ends, this is going to be the meeting point between the 2 organs forming the letter ba, or what we call the articulation point of the ba. And this is how we know the articulation points generally. But this is not applied to the jawf we took today, because as I told you, it is an approximate articulation point. You can't know exactly the point or from where exactly you are pronouncing the mad letters. Okay? So this is the first major area we took today, which is al-jawf. And for sure, with our WhatsApp practicing course, we will practice on those 3 mad letters and make sure we are applying this the right way. What are the mistakes we expect the student to have with the jawf letters, the mad letters? First is the wavy sound of the mad. We see that some students may recite like that. As-sama, like that. Up, down, up, down. This is the wavy sound. It is not accepted to do this, but you have to use the same sound level. Okay, from beginning of the mad till the end. The other mistake we expect for the alif mad, that the student may say the alif or may recite like heavy alif, while it should be light. And also he can do light alif while it should be heavy. But we see most of the students are doing heavy alif. They are trying to make it heavy all the time, and this is not correct. Maybe they are escaping from another mistake, which is the tilting, al-imala. So in order to avoid this, they do another mistake, which is giving heaviness to the alif mad while it should not be heavy. And we know the alif mad we learned before that it can be heavy, can be light, depending on the letter before. If it is heavy, so the alif will be heavy, like qala. If the alif is light, so if the letter before the alif is light, so the alif will be light too. Like kana, we say we don't say Why? Because the kaf before the alif is light. So the alif mad, it depends on the letter before. If it is heavy, so it will be heavy. If it is light, it will be light. So we can't recite all the time the alif mad like heavy, because it is not the case all the time. The third mistake we have with the mad with the alif is that you don't pronounce it from Aljawf, but you pronounce it from your mouth only. And this is a very common mistake. So try your best to focus that the sound you produce is to be coming from the space in between the mouth and the throat. Not only the mouth, but you have to bring from inside. The other mistake, as I told you, is al-imala, or what we call tilting the alif mad. Tilting the alif mad is like you pronounce the alif in between alif and ya. Yeah, and that's coming because you are not opening the mouth, your mouth correctly. You are opening it in a horizontal way, while it should be open in a vertical way. And this is like you are smiling. If you are smiling, you are opening your mouth horizontally, and this is like you give a tilting sound to the alif. Like for example, the same word like as-sama, you do as-sama, like that, like smiling. And this is not correct. For the alif mad sound should be coming up to the upward direction. So as-sama, like you are moving up. This is how we should do your alif mad. The other mistake we want to avoid with the alif mad is to do ghunna. Many students, they add ghunna to the alif mad. And in order to avoid the production of the ghunna, you need to open your mouth enough so you can produce the sound from your mouth, not from your nose. Okay? And the mistake next is that some students may add hamza to the mad alif. For example, والشمس وضحاها, she may say والشمس وضحاها. So she adding what? She's adding hamza to the end. And this is not for sure the correct thing, but the alif mad is just produced from this spacing, as I told you, between the mouth and the throat. So no hamza at the end of the mad with the alif. How about the mad with the ya? The mad with the ya. We mentioned that the Aljawf articulation point, the major articulation point, which is called the Aljawf, is including the mad letters. We pronounce from it the mad letters. So we mentioned the mistakes that the students are doing with the alif, the mad letter alif. How about if it is the mad letter ya? Okay, what's gonna happen? Okay, the mistakes we expect from the students, that they don't fulfill the kesra before the ya. For example, ar-rahim, they say ar-rahim. They don't say bihi, they say behi, be, instead of b. So you have to make sure you fulfill the kesra before the ya. And this is, to make sure about this, you have to find your chin going down with the kesra. If it is not going down, so your kesra is not fulfilled, and also your ya, which is mad, the mad with the ya following the kesra, will not be the correct sound. The mad with the ya mistakes is also adding ghunna to the mad with the ya. For example, al-alami, me, she's producing ghunna with the mad with the ya. Why she's doing this? Because she's not lowering the chin well, so she's not given a chance for the sound to come from the mouth, but it is coming from the nose. Okay. Also, we mentioned now two mistakes with the ya mad. How about the waw mad, the mad with the waw? that it is also produced from the jawf. What is the mistakes we expect here? It is also not to fulfill the dhamma before the wow. So your dhamma sound is not correct before the wow. You are not saying, for example, يعلمون. You say يعلمون more like O sound. It should be oo. يعلمون. So you have to circle your lips well and push it forward to give the full dhamma. So if the wow is following your dhamma, so it will be also affected if you are not fulfilling the dhamma before the wow mad. The other mistake is to produce gunna also. And the gunna is formed because in case of dhamma, you are not leaving a space. You are closing your lips. You are circling the lips, but you are closing them. You are not leaving a space. So the sound is not directed toward the mouth, but it goes to the direction of the nose, and the gunna will be formed. For example, يعلمون. Here you see the students say يعلمون. The sounds come from the nose. Why? Because when he circled his lips in order to do the mad and the dhamma, what happened? He didn't leave a space, between his lips, so we'll be able to produce the sound from there. So these are the common mistakes we have with the mad with the alif, the mad with the ya, the mad with the waw, which these are the articulation point and the letters which are found in the major area which is called Aljawf. We still have another 4 major areas, and we want to study the letters included inside those major areas, inshallah, the coming classes, and you can follow our practicing on the letters we did today on our WhatsApp course. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.